Hello and welcome to Singer's Journal. Today was very interesting. At my job, I remember saying that I had to, or you all remember that I said something about having to sing for my job, and they were going to get me to sing in the opera style. So I did do that. I did an Italian aria called Se ben crudele. I feel like I say that and butcher it the way that I say it, but my singing is a lot better than I sound like when I sing it, because I sound so afflicted. But in either case, it went off. I feel like it was okay. Everyone who's heard it said it was okay. They said, "Oh, it's so beautiful," and I'm like, maybe y'all just try to be nice, because I really just have not sang that style in ages. I mean, I graduated in 2010. I graduated. So that's 7 years ago. I cannot believe I've been out of college for 7 years. But anyway, since for 7 years, I have not sang in that style, because pretty much immediately after I left school, I basically took a nosedive from no performing at all. I just worked those 2 years at Walmart overnight, and then I just worked really hard to that sounds so silly, but to get a job in my field. So I tried to find something in music education and music performance. So I went through that, and I did have to do a few jobs to get me into the door of it. So it wasn't necessarily me teaching music or me doing music performance. It just kind of a job that was kind of around it. And then I was able to get a job from doing that. So pretty much just like working in childcare is more or less kind of how I got my foot in the door with the job that I'm doing now. But, to come from there and have to go back and hit up that opera style it was crazy. But you know what? I'm floored. And the reason why I'm floored is because never in a million years, I'm trying to get emotional about it, because it's just like when I got up there was it was some butterflies, but it was like energy. It was energy to perform, not like this nervous energy to like, oh my gosh, they're gonna hate me, or oh my gosh, this is gonna horrible, I'm gonna fall flat on my face, or oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, it wasn't that kind of feeling. And it was not because I was like, oh, I'm good like this and I can do this. But I literally looked inside myself and looked to who it is that has given me my gift. And just like I spoke on yesterday to a friend of mine who is going through the vocal training process, background vocals for the church. She got up and she sang and she led for the first time. And, her nerves kind of overcame her, and she was like, she felt like she faltered so bad, which she really didn't do as bad as she thought she did. There were some issues, but I remember that feeling, and I did the same thing. And Lord, if she could just hear me when I sang. And what's so ironic is I sang that same song, and she thought she did bad. Oh my gosh. She needs to hear me. She should have heard me saying that mess. And at least she had the other guitars and drums and stuff behind her to kind of help mask any kind of issues she may have had, which it wasn't really as bad as she thought it was. She did a really good job, and I'm really proud of her. But man, I butchered that thing, and all we had was an acoustic guitar, because the worship leader just kind of took us all out in the small group, and he allowed each of us to get a chance to lead it, and then background vocal for What a Beautiful Name. So when I did that, and when it gets to that, when I see that cross, what am I doing? That's Grace to Grace. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, Okay, so that part was an issue. You have no rival. That I destroyed it, because I didn't know whether to go into head voice or go into my chest voice. I was not nearly as in tune with understanding what the middle voice was at this point. And so that the whole black, gray, and white way that I think about it was not there. And then I certainly was not even concerned about pushing. I was like, well, if I got to push, that's what I'm going to do to get the note. Not knowing that really it was harming my body. I was harming myself by doing that. Even when I, was going up in the church to belt like I was doing, it was pretty much destroying my body, and it was destroying my voice and making things actually worse than what they were supposed to be. So now, like looking at it from that aspect and knowing how I just like belted that, and it was like, woohoo! Like that mess was like cracking all over the place. Like we had eggs cracking. Crack all in the air, because it was just so bad. Oh my gosh. So to go from that, nervousness, and then like I told her, it was just one day where God just spoke to me so clearly in my heart, and he was like, you know what? You're singing to worship me. You are not singing to please them. You are not trying to impress them. This is not a talent show. This is not a talent competition. So, maybe there are some singers that are looking at you right now in your mouth, and they may sing it better because they're used to their style, or that style may be what they have perfected and can do really good at. But you know what? You need to take your measure of talent, and you need to worship me like it's just me and you. And when I started thinking that way, like it's just me and God, it's just me and God. And then, the worship leader last night touched on this too, and I was like, that's so deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it, but then like you don't really think about it until someone puts it out there. But he was like, you know what? Like, dang, I lost my thought. Hold on. So yeah, it's like when you are worshiping, it's like you need to worship as if there is somebody else that's out there in that congregation or in that audience that needs to hear what you have to say, because it's like they're going through things where they really need that word, and that word is going to be the difference between them making decisions that could harm them or getting close to God, or having the motivation to do something different or positive in their life just by what you do and what you say. So whether I'm speaking or whether I'm singing, have it like, I'm putting this out there, acting as a vessel for God. So, there may be a message that he has to get out, and I'm blessed enough to be chosen to put that message out there. And so if you're stuttering, or if you're so nervous that you can't, control what your voice is doing, the whole message will be lost. So you need to like reach out to that audience or that congregation as if like they're depending on you. They're depending on what you are saying. And that will give them an opportunity to be able to receive salvation. That will give them that opportunity to have confidence in the ability God has given them. They will have just what they need to hear in order to move through their life in a more positive way by what you sing and what you say. So it's no longer saying I gotta please them or let them hear how many vocal rolls and all that kind of stuff I can do. It's about putting forth the message that I am saying. And that just makes so much more sense. So like today, when I had to sing that song, which I'm not 100%, comfortable with opera. They said it sounded okay. I'm just like, okay, whatever you say. But I mean, I'm thankful, and I said thank you. Sometimes it's hard for me to take a compliment because I'm really, really, really kind of mean to myself when I hear my voice. I'm getting a little bit nicer as time passes, but I'm really kind of mean to myself because sometimes it's just, ugh. But anyway, aside from that, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? They need to understand the whole purpose of why I'm up here. So if I'm up here to speak about this foreign language and what this means and how it's important in embracing, multiculturalism around the world, and embracing and understanding and appreciating other people's cultural customs, how will they be able to understand what it is that I'm trying to get across or say if I'm so overcome with fear, which is a horrible thing from Satan to basically get you off of what your purpose is going to be. So if I'm so overcome with that, how will they be able to understand what it is I'm trying to say? The message will be completely lost because I will be allowing Satan to come into my heart, come into my spirit and tell me that I'm not good enough to do something, that I can't speak well enough, that I can't sing well enough to do something. So then he would really have the victory, because even in this small setting where it doesn't look significant, it's just, you're just talking about an Italian aria. But if you look at it in the core of what it is, being able to embrace another person for their differences is such a big deal. And, starting from children and up, people in America, people in the world actually in general, look so much at your personal appearances, look so much at the physical things they can see. They even look at the talents that you may have, and they think that the talents that you have or what you look like define you, and they don't. It's just a part of who you are, but that's not who you are. You are a loved person by God. You have a purpose here on this earth, and you have something to offer to the world because you are here, you are alive, and that is the truth. So if I'm put in this position, no matter what position I'm in, then I need to take that serious and take serious what message I am trying to give to the people who are hearing from me. So that's helping me, that's even motivating me to start to slow down on my speaking and speak a lot clearer and taking my time, because I want them to be able to hear me and not brush over it so quickly, because I'm nervous and I want to get it out. And even with singing, like going back again to my first time, look at Simone, big face. Is that Simone or somebody else? Oh, that's somebody else. Oops. Okay, anyway. So if I just go back to those days where I was so nervous, I was like, oh my gosh, he is so good on the guitar and his voice is like, and then like, oh, she is good on this song. And I would have never said to myself, unless it was by the grace of God, that he said, Erica, stop doing this. I have given you a gift. I have given you a purpose with it. Stop trying to compare yourself to what somebody else is singing and put forth the message I'm asking you to put forth, because that's how souls are going to be saved. That's how people are going to come to me. That's how people are going to be able to embrace the life that we have here and understand what their purposes are. It's not just to make money. It is to love God with our hearts and soul and love each other like we love ourselves. And so in doing that, God has given us this life to live, and we've made it so materialistic to be able to live in. But in reality, this is just some things that God gave us as a gift to enjoy, but this is not the whole part of life. Connecting with people is kind of a portion of what that is, to love God with our heart and souls, because he's given us love to give to others, which we can work and unify in order to build the kingdom. So in saying all of this, I'm saying to you, like today, it was jaw-dropping to me, because when I sang A Star-Spangled Banner, which is a lot easier to me in thinking about it than Se Ben Crudele, because it's Italian, I might say it wrong, and it definitely goes into those opera notes up here, Se Ben Cru, all that. And I'm a little off and a little sick too, so please excuse that little roughness at the end. But I'm saying, like, the Star Spangled Banner, if you get it in the right key, it's okay. But I was able to go through those, think through what I was doing, but then also making sure I was expressive with my body motions, with my facial expressions, to present to them what the songs means, because it's in Italian. So they need to know, okay, this is what it means in English, and I told them that. And then I went back and I sang it in Italian and tried to let my body express that. So everything that I do and everything that I am as a performer, as a singer, as a worshiper, with the words that I'm saying, with the message I'm trying to portray, all of my vessel needs to be a part of expressing that. And so it was just amazing to me to get up there and not have any fear. It was nervousness, and I think butterflies and nervousness are a normal part of life and a normal part of performance. But to be overcome with fear is something that is so Satan. That is Satan. That is never part of what a singer is supposed to be, because God has given you the gift. You know if you have a gift or not, and if he's given you that gift, there is no fear in what you already own. So all these years, it makes me angry to think about how I've let Satan manipulate me in that way. But anyway, I don't know why I just went off on a tangent and started saying about all that stuff, because I really was going to try to sing something, but it's getting really close to the 15 mark, and I'm not going to change anything on my YouTube settings. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But future self, please hold true to that. Hold true to what God has already given you, and don't let anybody, which is like someone who is getting a message from Satan convince you that you're not good enough. Today is Friday the 19th, by the way.